I am Jenny Kahn. I'm an archaeologist. I work in the islands of Polynesia, and we're looking at how environmental variables impact cultures moving into new territories and how it impacts their ability to be resilient or conversely vulnerable through time. Polynesians had a way of life that they transported to East Polynesia with them. So they had an agricultural system, they had a marine system, a way of fishing and collecting shellfish. They kind of transported that system to the new islands in the east. And in the short term, they did exactly what they had done in their western homeland in the east, irregardless of the new environments that they found. And in both the Society Islands and the Gambiers, we see big impacts on the wild resources, but they're worse in the Gambiers, which are a more fragile ecosystem. So through time, many birds go extinct through overuse, and it impacts the Gambier system worse because seabirds go out to sea and they eat things like kelp and shellfish and fish, and they bring those nutrients back to land when they poop on the land. And when you get rid of the seabirds, it means that you're getting rid of this natural recycling. It's almost like the birds are composting the land. The impacts on the birds have different repercussions in different environments. So the bigger resource-rich Society Islands can kind of absorb the impact of losing the birds, while as the Gambier Islands cannot. The Gambiers are sort of an example of a more marginal, isolated island like Easter Island, which has become a poster child for environmental degradation. And I think what we learn is that we have to be very cognizant that you can't just adopt one practice and expand into marginal environments and expect things to go well in the long term. Polynesians learned this the hard way. They learned how to adapt to the local environment, and they did so relatively swiftly, but sometimes it took much longer for them to adapt, and those were the societies that didn't make it. Communities in the past had to deal with many of the same problems that we're facing today: overpopulation, overuse of resources, climate change, sea level rise, all of these things. And we can look at how communities in the past successfully adapted to these problems and how they made it through them. So you need to adapt to your local environment. You need to be really cognizant of the limitations of your environment and make cultural decisions to mitigate them.